Welcome back, everybody. Um, this is still the Dwarf Photos Let's Play. We're still in Sculpted Hammers and Sculpt Hammers, I guess. I'm number 12, and I'm happy to say my Skype situation seems to have calmed down a little, so I shouldn't be as distracted. I'm sorry for the last episode in which I was fairly distracted. So, yeah. What's this guy? I have no idea what this... Oh, it's a bone doctor. Those are pretty useful, especially later on. Right now we don't really have a hospital, so we can only hope he's able to do his job, but we'll be fine. And also, as you can see here, we have made a bin, and it's kind of hilarious to see those dwarves kind of vacuum the place with their bins. So they just go here and take all the finished goods into the bin, which means we have a vastly higher storage capacity for pretty much everything that can go into a bin, because we don't need to go with we've been killing chinchillas. Do you have any idea how much meat is on a chinchilla, guys? Did you ever see one of them? Also, why are we still using metal bolts? Anyway, chinchillas are not very good sources of meat. I think that is something we can take as a fact. And I think I can be happy if I get one meat from them. We should get a good amount of bones out of them though, so that's pretty fine. We're going to place Crafts Dwarf Workshop here for a very simple reason. I want to make bone bolts, and I wanted to be made kind of near the bone stockpile, so we have smaller ways. I think I need to, yes, I need to. Let's just see if those migrants brought some new pets for us, because sometimes migrant waves have a considerable amount of pets with them. We also need to assign some to this pasture here, especially those, because those are grazing animals and they would starve to death if they weren't assigned to a place. The yak might actually need to be butchered right away. There are some animals that can't be kept on a pasture because they eat too much, and they eat so much that they can't physically eat as fast as they starve. I think that's how it works. You have kind of a starving timer which takes away from your feeding level each time unit, and you have a feeding timer which adds to your to your feeding level each time you eat. And there are animals that eat so fast, or that starve so fast, that they can't eat as much. What's now? Oh, someone is withdrawing from society. Anyway, and I think yak are among those animals that just starve so fast that they can't physically eat as much as they need and as they want to have. Oh, we're lucky. Um, we're partially lucky. We got to finish this construction, and well, it hit a crafts dwarf's workshop. That's not good, because it usually means you're going to produce some worthless crap, like a very fancy ring or a very strange other object. And while those are certainly pretty valuable and highly sought after by many civilizations, you can't sell them, so they are useless. And you can't use them because there is no use for a bone scepter or that kind of thing. Also, I know this is a fairly inefficient way of building rooms, But again, it's kind of how I enjoy it. And there is no real need to save space down here, because we have so much of it. I mean, the only issue we have here is that the ways are pretty long, but space itself is not really an issue. I mean, we could just, even if this level was completely filled with rooms, we could just build something on another level. I think the map spans over 100, probably over 200, so we can always dig down. And there is no reason not to do so. Also, I think we only have deep minerals here, but if we had shallow minerals, digging out rooms would actually be a pretty decent idea, because you need to dig out rooms, or you need to explore the underground to find all those hidden goods. And yeah, so you can either just assign a large section of land, like I could just say, okay, strip mine this, and they would. It would also keep my miners fairly busy, so if I don't have anything else to do, that's perfectly fine. Oh, we made an armor stand. Now that's actually pretty useful. I was expecting something totally stupid. We can also look at it now. It is an armor stand of mighty quality. It is called the Random Fire. This is an Echidna bone armor stand. All crafts dwarf ships of the highest quality. On the item is an image of the dwarves, the easy way, the green tourmaline bound book in Echidna bone. Okay, so why not? He made an armor stand with a picture of a book on it. And those descriptions can be pretty hilarious. I think that's also a forum legend. There was kind of a bug that was allowing you to add infinite items to your artifact. And having those infinite items, each item adds one thing to your description of the artifact. So I think that it was they were crafting a statue, and it had a million things on it, including about 5 references to itself, or about 30. I forgot. I'd have to look this up, but it was pretty hilarious, and some people even theorized that time or that space was bending around itself on this very statue. It was just some nonsensical discussion, but it really was fun. And that's one of the things that made, or that I think makes Dwarf Fortress so very, very, very funny and incredibly enjoyable, because those random things add a lot, and you can have a very good laugh at some of them. And it's also pretty interesting because the dwarves try to put their thoughts into those artifacts. They are ultimately the reflection of what a dwarf thinks, what moves him, and all that stuff. I think that's also why they go so mad if they fail to produce an artifact. Each dwarf can only produce an artifact once in his lifetime. So once a dwarf has made something, he will never be able to do that again. Also, yes, I just messed up mining out that block twice. Um, so if a dwarf fails to make an artifact, he will usually go into a very bad mood, and either go crazy and just pull levels and all that stuff and go on a rampage. He might also get aggressive and kill everything that moves, which is also fairly annoying because it might very well toss you into the infamous tantrum spiral. Or he may just go melancholic and starve himself to death, which is also pretty useless. We also have an elven caravan, so we're going to move some trade goods. Let's see where we have them. Can we actually place... Yes, I'm not going to sell stonecrafts here. We're going to sell prepared food. For a very simple reason, it is ridiculously valuable. You will see that very soon. Do we have anything else here we can protect? Nope. Okay. Once all those um, chicks and stuff have grown up, we will probably drown in eggs, so that's not going to be a problem for very long. Also, we want to make bone bolts, and that's about it for now. I'm going to have a rather large paster down here. I think I'm going to place it right here, right between those ponds, which I shouldn't really brush at this time. The trader's on his way. And we have the wall almost finished, which is pretty cool. I was expecting to be finished a lot later, because it is a fairly large wall after all. And I think I should actually produce a secondary entrance to the fortress, just so in case of a siege, people can get out. That is pretty useful at some points, and you might want people to be able to get out. Those traders are getting pretty mad if they are kept from. Where's the thief? Okay, the echidna is probably having a very bad day. It's down here. Let me just see what's down here. This is rock salt. So, yep, this is a rock salt cluster. You can see that pretty clearly here. The vegetation and things on the floor often mirror what is below. So, right here we can pretty safely assume this is a rock salt cluster or rock salt lens, which might even span a few Z levels. So, if we dig here, we might hit rock salt. I'm quite sure we will hit rock salt here. Also going to stop the block production here for now, because we're going to move our masons over to the underground levels, and I am going to. So now we're going to have 3 mason shops, simply because that means we can get work done a lot faster if 3 masons can work at them at once, and we will be able to keep 3 masons at once busy, which is something we want to do, because bored dwarves will be very unhappy. And we have 3 masons right now, so it seems like a worthy endeavor to do. I'm also going to assign every butcher to also become a tanner. I don't think there is a quality to leather, so it doesn't really matter if something is tanned by a very skilled tanner or if it's a novice tanner. The only difference is in time, so a skilled tanner would be faster in making something. As you can see here, those prepared food pots are massively valuable. We can get a ton of, well, whatever we get for those. So we can pretty much pick whatever we want from those elves. Magpies are, well, useful to some extent. Cougars are very useful. We definitely want to keep a few of those. Can I see this? No, I didn't want to trade. I want to view this. So view it. Okay, it's an empty cage. I think we'll also take the kangaroo and the stork. I'm not going to take the magpie for now. We don't need that. It's not a useful animal. It can be used as a pet, but you need to release it for that. And as soon as you release it, the cats of your fortress will immediately jump it and kill it. So it's going to be dead before it could be adopted by a dwarf. That's kinda useless. We are going to buy those. And I guess we'll also take that. because you can't really have enough clothes in your fortress. They have a ton of that with them. I want some of those, some of those, some of that. We don't want that. And that's about it. And we're going to offer you this pot of food in exchange for your very useful goods. So we're going to be happy with it. Trade. And now you can go back to your not having a job. Did we actually assign something to be? Yes, we did. Okay. This is gonna be a fellow for some reason. We have hide root, we have wild strawberries, and we have prickleberries. So this is going to have bladeweed in 3 seasons of the year. This place is gonna have rope reeds. We have that, 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 that. Okay, what did we not have yet? We don't have. Do we have wild strawberries? Yes. We don't have longland grass, which can be made into beer, can be used for brewing. We don't have rope reeds, or do we now? Yes, we do. We don't have ratweed. I'm not even sure what this is used for. I'm gonna look it up later. And that's all for the unused fields for now. So we're going to... Okay, you stopped hunting because of a kobold thief. And the kobold thief didn't really have a good time here. He's having trouble breathing, so he's not going to get very far away, I'm afraid. Poor thing. We're also kind of done with this episode because the time has run out. So I'm gonna cut the recording here and I'll see you in a moment.